Well, our government knows about them, and there's more than one race. You can't blanket and say that everybody's a devil. There are bad aliens, though. There are bad aliens, and maybe they're devils, but there's also good ones. There's an alien species called draconians that are referred to as the draconians, and you can probably Google them. And they're maybe what would fit the bill for a devil, but there's not just one of them. That's a race of aliens. That's a culture of aliens, or a race or a culture. It's probably their own species, and they look kind of like devils the way they were pictured. I mean, when people report it or whatever, and maybe that's where they got the story of the devil. But there's also aliens that don't look like that they're different. And they're not all evil. And there's some that are probably just neutral, that are neither good or bad. They're just like us. There's some that look like us. There's some that look like some strange things. I mean, it looks like they all walk upright. They have like arms and legs. A head, But there's like, right off the bat, I mean, there's like 10 or a dozen different aliens. And that includes the draconians. And there's more than one evil alien probably, and I think there's two notable ones that are maybe not good. But there's like 3 that are good, that are like considered beneficial, that are spiritual. The Pleiadians are one, the Arcturians are another, and then there's a third one which I can't remember the name of it. I can't think of the name right now. And then there's other ones too that are just, there's grays, and then there's some that are probably robots. Robots or accessory beings or whatever. I mean, you could say pets or whatever, or some kind, they're not actual, they might be like a sub thing, like when we have dogs. They might be something like that. Or they might be robots. So not all of them are living, but the thing is, their technology, on Star Trek they do this. They actually use living for their computers. They actually have living biology for the computers. And they think that might be really the case in real life. That they're really using biological computers. Somehow that they're alive. Even the craft might be alive. And that's how when they interact with those craft, it'd be like if the cat was a craft, you rode inside of the cat. I mean, the cat would have to be a lot bigger. And you would tell it what to do. It would be smart enough to know what to do. And you would say, go straight. And it would go straight. It would be a living, breathing thing, but it wouldn't really be a human. But in some way, it's alive. And that's, even on Star Trek, they have these packs in the craft, and they show them. And they're alive. And on one occasion, these packs got a virus, and they were sick. I mean, computers get viruses, and this show was made a long time ago. These Star Treks were made, so it's like thinking of this stuff. It's kind of like, some of this almost like it's intuitive. And now the question is, are we going to have a traffic jam? Because Madison is busy. so we're 30 miles away. But George Washington, he had an encounter with aliens. He believed in aliens. Thomas Jefferson, the other founding fathers, notable names, not some obscure person that was maybe a little nuts, but the well-known ones, they knew about the aliens and they believed in them. So it's not something that suddenly we're coming up with now. This is not new. Our founding fathers knew about the aliens. I'm going to get over here. They knew about them, and they had encounters, or they felt like they had encounters with them, and I think they really did. That's maybe something to do with Washington's vision, but they saw stuff that would indicate that they saw craft or aliens or something like that. Okay, we're at 59.8. Here's the Wisconsin River. So we're 60 miles from the Wisconsin River. We'll just set this at 60 then. No point in this. It's pretty busy. The Russians have acknowledged this too. And they did it in kind of an interesting way. They made it look like it was a mistake. And they said, oh, it turned off the mic. And they started talking about the aliens. Like they were off the mic. And it was broadcast. Other countries are acknowledging that these aliens exist. This is not, oh, this is for nut jobs to believe in this. No, this is stuff that pilots know about. There's movies of this stuff from airplanes, and not just airplanes, but military. This is real. And if you go back in history, there's people that have painted UFOs. They've seen them, and they painted a picture of them. There's well-known paintings with UFOs in them in Europe. So this is not new. This thing with the aliens is not new. This goes back, because there's stuff painted, there's rock art showing them, and they're not all devils. Not all of them are devils. There might be some that are bad, but I would say 95% of them are not devils. And these people that say they're devils are the ones that are going to be hurt the most when alien disclosure finally does come to its fruition. Because if they actually come down and introduce themselves, and then we find out that they're just normal people like us, just that they have more technology, they're going to say, we don't worship Jesus Christ. We don't have to be saved. And then they're going to say, oh yeah, we know about reincarnation. And it's going to completely dismantle. We're going to have to rewrite our religions. And obviously they have not done this yet. At least not in public. Now, I have heard that they do believe in reincarnation. No, they don't believe in it. They know about it. That's what they have for their thing. I mean, we believe in reincarnation, but we don't really know. The aliens know. They know whether it's true or not. For example, right now, do we really know if all of us reincarnate? I mean, we might be able to prove that some of us do, but we can't say whether all of us reincarnate. And the same thing with heaven and hell. There is evidence for reincarnation, though. But once the aliens